Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all the educators joining from various parts of the country. So, here we are, we, the GG Lucknow group, in front of you all, so that we can make the session more interesting, connect you with mathematics. So, the session expert today we have is Mr. Satwinder Singh. Mr. Imtiaz, over to you for the introduction of our guest for today's session.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hope everybody is doing well. And welcome all of you in our today's session at GEG Lucknow. And today's session is completely based on, graphing. So how to draw the graph, how to teach, by the way, how to draw the graph using some interesting tools. And basically, when we talk about virtual classes, there we actually try to find out something, some good and creative ideas. So this is one of the best, way to show the graph and any critical graph you can draw. So today we are going to talk about Desmos, and Desmos is one of the graph, not actually only the graphing, but is kind of graphing calculator. You can consider it. So today we have Mr. Satwinder Singh. Mr. Satwinder Singh is having more than 16 years experience in teaching, and he has taught different curriculums. So current international baccalaureate diploma program, Cambridge assessment international examination, and he is the edtech lover. Why I'm saying lover? Because he is really so proficient in what he's doing, and GeoGebra passionate, and he is multitasking by nature, innovative and creative teacher. He is a STEM educator, and what to say, like there are so many things about Mr. Satwinder, and yes, so few of the things I would really love to listen to hear from Mr. Satwinder. So welcome, Satwinder sir, welcome to our GEG platform and today's session. So the stage is
Thank
of yours.
you. Thank you, Mr. Imtiaz and Mr. Tariq. And I feel very proud to be a part of your, actually, the group, at least as a presenter or as a mentor for some teachers. Definitely, you have said already so many things. And yeah, so we can start as soon as we have the enough number of audience. And if you guys have any question, please write in the chat or ask to Mr. Imtiaz. Mr. Imtiaz will be coordinating with me and the audience in case of any questions or any other doubts. Always
Sure,
reach
sure,
out
sir.
to me or Mr. Imtiaz. Thank you so much. And if you allow, we can start.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, we can
Okay,
go with
good to
the
go.
program.
Thank you so much. Hello, educators, and especially maths teachers. It's not only for maths teachers, but any teacher can participate and can take this advantage of using Desmos graphing calculator and other tools which are available on Desmos. So I'm the host, Satwinder Singh, today, at least for this particular session. And I hope you will definitely enjoy this session and you will learn something different, which you may not have explored yet. But yeah, so let's begin. If you guys have your computer with you, you can actually start doing with me as well. So welcome, everybody. So calculator demo, as Desmos, I have just talked about. Desmos is graphing tool and other tools as well. So this is the symbol for Desmos, which you can see in so many things. And if you just type desmos.com and maybe slash calculator, or let me also show you how you can actually try to go on Google and just type desmos.com, and you will be redirected to this page. So this is the home page of Desmos. I'll take a few minutes just to walk you through about this platform so that you can explore on your own and you can actually use it. So you can see on the left hand side, this is the title Desmos. On the right hand side, you can see your account information. So this is my account and I have already logged in this. You can always sign in with your school account, school IDs, or you can also use your personal email IDs. It won't ask you that school authentication is required. So math tools is something which is here and which has so many things here. Graphing tool, scientific, for function, matrix, Test practice and geometry tool. There are uh, mobile applications as well on both Android and iOS system. Classroom is something when we assign some activities, because Desmos is not offering a graphing calculator option, but also the activities system, and where you can integrate lots of things to make your math lessons interesting, engaging, and you can say interactive. You can see feedback, you can send feedback to your students, you can actually connect easily, and on appropriate questions or concerns you can actually discuss with your students. You can pause, play, and like that. Resources is something where you can actually explore, and if you go down, this is for students, I'll come to this later. This is for teachers, especially for activities. I'll come back to this part maybe in the second half of this session. And here is the curriculum. It's a paid part, which is actually they're creating US curriculum, and they're selling to the schools and states so that teachers can make use of it. And they have a partnership with so many international examination systems. IB is there, Pearson, Cambridge, there are lots of. So yeah, so let's start with graphing calculator first of all. So if I click on this graphing calculator, you will jump to this screen. So this is the screen, and which is really user friendly. Whatever you type here, you will see the response within a second. Let's say I just type X. Look, so you see a line which is representing the equation y equals to x, because even we didn't enter y equals to x, but it will consider as automatically. You can see this. Color options are there, and this is just one example. And you can also type like a point, let's say 2 and 3. You can label it. You can also mention what is this point. Let's say this is a point A, and the coordinates are 2 comma 3, something like this. See, this option is there, which is very easy to use. This is called gear setting. Whenever you click on this, it means you are going to change some of the visual settings on this part. So this whole part visible on the left hand side, there is a keypad also, which is a Desmos keypad, which is why this is widely used in math lessons, because this is so easy to use. You can see here x, y, powers, exponents, less than, greater than, symbols, square roots, pi, numbers, operators, functions. Look at this. There are lots of different functions available, stats and distributions, miscellaneous, integration, lots of things. Because I don't have exact idea on which grade wise you are here, but I'll try to cover from middle school as well as from high school perspective. Let's say I just want to find out mean. I will just type MEAN, and then I will just type some numbers. Let's say 2, 3, or something, 2, 3, 4. You can see now the mean of those numbers will be available for you. Same, you can also type mode, MOD. Of course, it will have a different meaning. We'll discuss about that. You can create any list. So to create, because these brackets are very useful in graphing. So there are two types of brackets we are using. This one is only for points. Let me type that thing for you here, because here is the plus sign, which you can use to add expression, note, table, folder, image. So I'm going to add a note, means I want to type something. So this type of brackets are for used for only points or coordinates. And if I want to continue again with the expression, let me show you. I'll just go to note and type here. And if I use this curly brackets, these are used for piecewise functions when you want to give conditions. Piecewise functions or condition based things. Sorry, for my spellings. Yeah, piecewise functions and for conditions. I'll show you what does it mean. Third one is the square brackets. You can see this is for list. This is for list. So you want to create a list. Let me show you what does it mean. So let's say I'm using one alphabet, which is capital L, equals square brackets. Look, as soon as I type square brackets, I can see 0 element. So if I type 1, 2, 3, or like a sequence, you can generate. So 3 elements only. But what if you want to type 100 elements? You don't need to actually do this. You just need to define the gap, the difference, how the next term should be obtained. So let's say I have entered only 3 values, 1 comma, let's say 4, and then comma 7. Now I want to continue with this pattern. What I'll do, I'll just use this comma, 3 dots. Always remember 3 dots. 1, 2, 3, and then just enter the last number. Let's say 99. Look at that. So the sequence is ready here with 34 elements. And do you want to visualize it? Yes, you can. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use points, and I'm going to use L as my X values. So capital L, comma 0. Now you can see all 34 elements are there. Look, I can see 1, 0, 4, 0, 7, 0, 10, 0. Let me show you more. I'm just clicking on this and look at that. Look at that. So you can see all 34 elements. You can hide this labeling if you just want to see the points. So this is really helpful. Let's say I just want to have vertical lines. So I'm going to type X equals to L. Look at that. See, one equation will create number of lines. And if I increase it, let's say 199, look at that. So now you can imagine how powerful tool is this, Desmos. So yeah, you can explore it. So this was about the list. So I'm gonna actually hide it just to avoid any confusion. Now I'm coming back to this bracket, which is actually curly, which I've said for 2 conditions. Conditions or piecewise, you can say. Let me show you one simple graph, y equals to x, but I want to restrict it. So use these curly brackets and control the values of x. Let's say from -3 to 3. Look at that. Let me hide the previous graph because that is there. Now you can see. I'll press the home button, which will take me to the default zoom. Look at this. So we can control using curly brackets. Of course, there are possibilities on other platforms, GeoGebra or in different, but in Desmos it's more easier to type and to visualize the graphs. And you can change these graphs at any time. Look at this. I'm just controlling x square from -1 to 1. Right. So this curly bracket will be used to control some sort of graphs. You can also control the inequalities if you want. Let me show you some inequalities. Let's say I'm just using y less than 3 or 2. You can see now the area below 2 will be shaded. Same thing you can also do with x. X greater than 1, you can see that. So these, you can also apply conditions on both sides. Let me show you from 0 less than y less than 3. Look at that. And you can also use equal to sign here. Of course, from your keypad, if you're not comfortable in typing from your keypad, don't worry. This keypad is available. Look at that. Show keypad. Just click on it and you will see everything. So let's say I'm going to type 0, then less than equals to y, and again less than equals to, let's say 5. Look at that. So this is the difference. Like you can use this keypad as well very easily. It's very similar to your computer's keypad, but You can manually type from here, or you can use this keypad. So there are lots of things which you can explore. So this was something about basic graphs and these three brackets which I have discussed with you. Now let me introduce you. Let me save this and share with you guys so that you can actually use it if you want. I'm just giving 1st October Desmos part 1. You can share easily, you can save it. Remember, you have to have your account. If you don't have your account, your work will not be saved. So please make sure you create your account and log in with your that account, then you can save it. And then you can share as well, share the graph. So this is the link generated and you can just copy this. I'm sharing in the chat, maybe, okay, in comments. I'm sharing in the private chat. Mr. Imtiaz, you can continue sharing with others. And what if you want to go here? Because I forgot to tell you about this. There is something here as well, open graph, right? Click on this, you will see number of graphs here. These are graphs which I created or I just used from someone's graphs or made copies. But from Desmos also you will see number of graphs which are like examples for us. So let me show you a parametric cycloid. Look at that. So I can just open this graph. So this was not done by me, frankly speaking. This was done by Desmos team, and it was given to us as an example so that we can create something like this. So I'll not show you the exactly this way, but I'll show you something very similar. So let me go back to this. Look at this. What is this? It's a slider. You can control it. Look at this. You can control it and you can use it for any other purposes. Now it was using a parametric equation. So yeah, you can explore other graphs as well in the same manner. This was very popular. This was the first one back in 2012 or 13. I don't remember. When I saw this graph, 13, I think, if I'm not wrong, 13, maybe 14. From that time, I've been using Desmos. So now you can see this. If I play A, what's going to happen? Look at this. So because I saw this graph on internet and then I started exploring Desmos, then I realized there are lots of things what we can do using this tool. Especially this slider portion was really, really amazing. You can see this. So this is like best for creating artwork, or I think I used these type of graphs when I was giving a free time to my students. Okay, guys, take a rest for 5 minutes. And I just displayed this graph on the projector. So students were just feeling that, okay, what is happening with this flower? It's a trigonometric equation, but it's creating different types of graphs as I change my values of B. So that was something interesting and students really loved it, and students also started using it. So yeah, so these things are available for you. Even you are, let's say, very new to Desmos, don't worry, you will have access to these things here. In examples, let me show you where is it's given. Look at this. It's written examples. I think this was, I just created last month. So I was not intending to show this thing. I was just wanted to show the fish, that how we can actually use any image and then animate it. So there are tutorials available. I created different tutorials on graphing calculator and Desmos classroom activities. Mr. Imtiaz will definitely share in the chat. You can have access to those. And yeah, so let me show you how to use. Look at this. This is the slider actually. So we can control it. Look at this. I'm able to control it. So I'm changing color as well. So yeah, you need to be smart if you want to use these things as well. So let me create a new graph now. A new blank graph. You can just click it here And don't worry, if there is some internet connectivity issue, you can recover it if you forgot to save. So yeah, let's start with some sliders, and I'll spend 10 more minutes on this, then we'll jump to classroom activities, because that is something which is really, really great thing to use on internet, especially for maths teachers. And I'm emphasizing maths teachers because of course you can make best use from this platform. Otherwise, it's also applicable for other subject teachers. So guys, now I'm gonna introduce you with sliders. Let me add a note here, and I'm writing sliders here. So for sliders, use any alphabet, any letter, A, B, any alphabet on your keypad, and it will generate automatic sliders for you. So let me show you. Y equals to ax. Look at this. As soon as I entered a times x, it will definitely ask me add slider. I can click it here, and now I can play this slider. You have full control. You can play, you can go to animation properties, you can decrease its speed, you can make it only one directional move, or only once, or only in the play indefinitely, always go forward. You can see this. So it will just continue increasing the values very slowly because the speed is very slow here. And if you want to go back, don't worry, you can just come back here and increase the speed. You can see the magic happening. So same thing was happening. You can actually create anything. You could see there, I think it was the another graph where we were using the circle was revolving. So I'm not going to show you those circles because they are already there. So, but you can try these things. Let me show you what. Let's say y equals to, I'm going to remove this line. You can generate sliders first also. It's up to you. It's not like you have to enter y equals to bx and then you have to generate sliders. No. You can generate sliders before entering your equation. For that, what you have to do, just type any letter and use equal to sign with equals to a number. It will generate a slider for you. Let me give you an example. I'm gonna create m as a gradient of a line m equals to, I have to define one value at least, let's say 1. As soon as I type 1, I'll get this option to add a lower limit and the upper limit, means the maxima and minima of that value. Let's say -2 and to 2, and then steps. This is amazing. Look, you can actually add these steps from 0.25. Now you can use this y equals to mx. Now if I play the slider, every value of m will change my line, and side by side the steps will be from 0.25. You can see that. Look at this. Same slider, you don't need to define again. If you are using another function, let's say something which is double of m, I don't need to define m again because my line is already there, or my gradient, sorry, m slider is already there. I can change color. Let me show you how. You can just go to edit list, click here, click on these colored dots, change it their colors, thickness, dotted line, and here you can also add, let's say 5. It will increase the thickness. Look at this. Like, so these things you can change anytime. Originally it was 2.5, so we can keep it that way. This will change the opacity because right now it's just a line, so it's fine if we keep it 1. If you keep it 0, it will become invisible. So that option is also there. So few things you don't want to show in a dark shade, yes, you can show with the faded colors like this. And other things what you can do, y equals to, let's say, let me show you the points. I'm going to use M slider as it is, and M comma, let's say 2. Look at the point is also moving because my slider is changing. And you can show the label as well. So that's how in computer system or in animations, they basically use this dynamic thing, which can actually create dynamic numbers for a particular graph. So let me show you very similar thing by adding one image. I'm downloading one image of, let's say, a football. So football images, let's say this is the transparent, and I'm going to save this image. Okay, soccer ball in my downloads. Yeah. Okay, I have it here, and I can go back to my calculator because I want to add one image and then want to maybe move it with the points. So I'm gonna click on this plus and add image. Go to the downloads. Okay, this is here. So I can just click it. Look at this. See, originally, let me hide these things at least. Now, originally the width is 9.5 and the height is 10, but you can manage it. You can also play with this. Look at this. But I want to control it from here. So let's say 1, 1, right? Or 2, 2. 2 is the width and 2 is the height. So angle is something which if you type, let's say 1, it will rotate because it's a circular thing. So you are not able to see the difference. But as I show these points, you can see this. Look at this, it's changing. So if I put M here, look at this, what is happening. I hope you can notice something. So because M is the slider, if M is changing, my angle is also changing and it started rotating. So it's so easy. You can also increase or decrease the opacity. Look at this, it becomes now darker. Now let's come to the center. What is the center? M comma 2. Let's put that center here. M comma 2. Now you will be able to see your football is moving. Let's hide the point. Look, also hide the label. So that's how I did in, if you could see the fish. If I play this slider, that's how it's going to happen. So look, it's very similar to this. Here I'm just using a particular graph, which was definitely a piecewise function. But here I haven't added any function, but if you want, definitely you can do. Let's say we want to add minus x square, right? Or 0.25, so that, okay, 0.1. Look at this. Let's increase its height. And I'm going to show this function from, let's say, -6 x to 2. Look at this. Now I have created a curve. And if you want that this thing should travel this path, the trajectory, then what you have to do, just define a function like f of x equals, now go to your center. The center should be the point which lies on this curve, right? Now, so if I'm considering m as my x value, so I have to type f of m here. Look at this. It's so easy. What you have to do to make it more smooth, stop it and go here. Type the steps very, very small. Let's say 0.01, and the values we have taken is -6 to 3. Okay, let's use the same values, -6 to 3. Now you just run it. Look at this. So now your football, the center of your football is on the curve. For demonstration, you can hide the curve. Look at this. And if you go to settings, you can click on the reverse contrast just to see the football in motion, right? If you want to change angle very fast, maybe just multiply 10 with m with 10. Look at this. So for a moment, at least you can demonstrate like this, right? So yeah, this is actually, there are lots of things what we can discuss, but we can connect again to discuss about this, because if we continue on this part, we'll miss another important part. So I'll leave it to you guys to explore sliders and the points, adding images, controlling functions, so that you can try. Maybe quickly I can tell you the table thing. Let's say you go to settings, your function is already available, you click on this table, it will create your table automatically, and it will also generate the points. Look at this. Now you can define these points as well. Let's say this was -6, right? Okay, minus 5.5, and then let's say this was -5. You don't need to change y values, these are calculated automatically. You just change x values here. Let's say -4.5 and -3 or something. Let's say -4. So look at this. You can also demonstrate these things like that. Another thing, let me show you quickly if you are interested. I'm going to create a list, and the numbers will be from -6, and then the difference I want to take is 0.5. So next number is 0.5.5, comma. I have given two numbers already. So from these two numbers, it will recognize what is the gap I'm going to consider. So I'm going to use 3 dots after comma, and the last number was 3. Sorry, let's use last number as m. Now I will show L comma f of L, and I will hide my original function. I hope this is making sense to you. Look at that. The points are also going towards the curve. You can hide the football. Let's say, look at this. I hope this will help you. If you want to show, you can say a moving curve with points. You see, this is not continuous because of the gap. You just change this gap. Look at this. I hope it's making sense to you now. So yeah, so guys, you can explore this, and because I'm not on the chat, I can't see if you have asked any questions. I would like to pause myself here for maybe 20 seconds. If there are
No
major
questions till
questions.
now, Satvinder. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's continue then, and I'll continue to the another part of Desmos. So okay, let me save this as well for you guys so that you can use it. 1st October part 2.
That's really amazing session. That's really, I mean, people are enjoying, and I really love while doing when we add the
Yeah,
sliders. So when we add the sliders,
correct.
then the things start, because drawing the graph is okay, but when we start, and that
Make
give
it
a
dynamic.
clear,
Yeah.
yes, dynamic, and that give a clear even the explanation to the student that what if the the coordinates are here, or the if
Yeah.
and the range is there, so
And
then
you
they
can
get to know
control it.
everything in the same. We can
Yeah,
control
you
it.
can control it. You can control it. Look at this. I'm just sliding M,
Yes.
and the motion is visible there.
So it's like of
Right.
pausing the video. So it's like of pausing the graph
Correct.
there, and then we can show
Correct.
that, see what happens.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
And
I have
of
shared
course,
the
like
graph.
the coming says
Yeah.
coming activity, what you are going to show is the activities and the assessment. They are lovely. They are lovely, really.
Yeah. Let me just go to that same page, guys. I'm gonna go to desmos.com. Before, because I will feel definitely there will be teachers who will be using matrix calculator. It will take hardly 1 minute. I'll jump onto matrix calculator because it has another beauty. So matrix calculator is something which will compute everything for you. You just need to create matrices. So I'm going to create a new matrix. Look at that. As soon as I click new matrix, let me show you if you missed what I was showing. You go to desmos.com and click on matrix calculator. you will be on this page. So as soon as you click on new matrix, you can edit rows and columns. Look at this. So this is something which you can, now you can enter numbers, let's say 2, 3, 1, and 0. So after that, you can just press enter. Your matrix is there. Now you can add another matrix B equals. Again, you can type something. I will not recommend to use here variables. It will work best with numbers. It will show undefined things. So look at this. Now my matrix is there. Let's say I want to change its rows. And I would enter. Now, if I even type A plus B, it will show the warning sign here. Look at this. Cannot add matrices with different dimensions. So what I have to do, I have to change rows for that. Now I can add easily A plus B, A minus B, A times B, right? So whatever you want to do, you can do square of A, type A, and then click on this square. You guys are good at calculations, so you can verify these answers. You can also find
That's
A
wonderful,
inverse.
sir. Satendra, that's wonderful. It is completely a time saver.
Yeah, look at this. Here I'm clicking the fraction thing so that these numbers can be converted into fractions, 1 over 3, 2 over 3. I hope that is determinant also you can verify. Let's find out determinant of A. Now see, it's -3. That's why it is dividing every number by 3. So that can actually verify something. Look at this. 3, this was 3. So that's why you can say it's 1 over 3. So there are lots of things what you can do with this simple tool. Okay, so I'll leave it on to you to explore, because you can do for 3 by 3 matrix, 2 by 2, 2 by 3, whatever. It's up to you now.
It can
Transpose
be
also
good
you can
even
use.
for the beginners too, isn't it? Those who are beginners
Correct.
for matrix, it can guide them very easily.
Yeah.
True.
So let's say A to the power n, then I can type 4, 5. Look at this. It's amazing. A to the 100 power. We can calculate easily. So that's how the algorithm works at the back end of this system, and it's calculating everything for us. Okay, so let me jump to the activity section now. That's most exciting thing about
Most
Desmos.
exciting.
That let's make best use of it, not only graphing calculator. So for that, I would recommend everybody to click on this part, teachers, browse activities. So as soon as you click on this part, browse activities, this is the another page. You can say it's called teacher.desmos.com, or you can always type desmos.com and click on teachers. Tools you can access from here as well. Resources you can access. Make sure you have account. That's something which is really, really important. And if you are first time user of teacher.desmos.com, make sure, this is really, really important. I'm emphasizing it because I have seen teachers coming back to me and asking, I'm not able to do that in my activities. So the basic reason is Desmos Labs. So here, when you click on your account information, you will see Desmos Labs here. Click on it. Now there are so many features which are not active by default, which you have to make it active if you want to make use of it. Look at this: marble slides, geometry, and student image. So this was wonderful tool for me, especially last year for in the pandemic session. This was launched last year itself. For a few months we were just trying without that, but then Desmos released this. This still are on beta phase, so but we can make use of it. So if you want to make use of it, make sure you click on these things. Look at that. So first and second always checked, but last 3 are optional. If you want to make use, then only you can. Otherwise, these features will not be there in your activities. So once you are done with this, go back to home page. And if by any chance you are changing school, or you're changing your account, and if you have saved so many things in your account, don't worry, ask these people, support at Desmos. They will help you out to move your stuff in your new account. So I'm back on the home page. Here you will see there are activities available for you, which are free of cost. These things are paid for US schools because they are creating only for US curriculum. And you can explore it if you are interested. Otherwise, for IB or IGCSE or other schools, you don't need that curriculum. Better you create your own. That's where I believe. I know we like something which is already ready for you, ready to use for you. So that's why Desmos has provided so many things for you already. And we can make use of it now from here. So if you click on the home page, you will see featured collections, featured activities. If you go to most popular, you will see these activities. You can click on any activity. I'll show you. Let's say I'm on this activity, guess my rule. I can click here. You will see some information about this activity. It's taking time, don't know. Okay, yeah, it's loaded. So look, it's created by Desmos because you always see the author who created this thing. And this is the information about this activity. Students are introduced to the concept of functions by using input-output pair in the table. So, oh, sorry, let me go back. So activity sessions, and this is the activity information. To access this, click on student preview. Student preview, it will give you every bit of information what you need. I know if I'm the creator, I will not add so much information here, but this is done by the Desmos team, so they have added everything. So I'm just going to the full screen page. So you can see this activity. This is the graph actually, how they have used. Now this machine is using a secret rule, rule number 1, to turn inputs into outputs. So we're just trying to see what is the output here. So try, look at this. 15 is going inside the machine and 5 is coming out. And it was got scanned. Now you got the prompt that what was the rule. Now you can see, okay, subtraction 10, that's fine. What could rule be? Select all that apply, right? So subtract 10, or maybe takes the ones digit, or divide by 3, whatever you think, just you can do it, right? And you can click on next here on the top. And then you said these rules were divide by 3, subtract 10, takes the ones, enter a different input to help you understand, was that rule all 3 or any one? Let's type any other number now, 20. Try. Okay, it's getting now 10, which means now we can say it is subtracting 10. Right? So this is how students actually learn on their own. Teacher is not explaining anything. Teacher is there to support, to help them, to understand, to guide them how they can continue with the activity. Of course, before you assign any activity, you should also try that activity first so that you come to know about every component of that activity, just to be on a safer side. Look at this. Here is the option where student will upload the images from their laptops or from their phones. They can click on submit button. So this is the overview of the activity. Let's say you like it, right? And you want to use this in your class. Here is the assign button. Click on that, assign to your classes. If you are using Google Classroom, then yes, your Google Classroom can be synchronized with Desmos account so that you can integrate it. Let me show you both ways. Assign to your class. If I click on that, look at this. There is only one class which I have created, which is class 10 algebra. And I can go to manage my classes anytime. Look, class 10, I'm still using all of these classes, or active all class something. So you can just click on that. You can add a new class. If you want to add, you can import from Google Classroom or create your class just on a local basis, right? Only for Desmos system, not getting synchronized from Google. So it's optional for you, but this is something which was really good. In this way, you don't need to pass on the information every time from Desmos to the students. You do from Desmos, and students will get information from Google Classroom automatically. So that's the wonderful thing about this. So let me go back to the activity, because I have created video tutorials on these things. So you can explore on my YouTube, and you can connect with me anytime. So, okay, this is the activity. Now what to do if you want to assign? Single session code is the another option. Click on this. Student sign in is required. This is another question from teachers, that student should sign in or not. I'm saying it is optional, because student generally try from different laptops or mobiles. Sometimes they join from mobile or from laptop. They may not remember everything about their account information. So it's fine if you don't make this compulsory for them to sign in. But I can tell you the benefits of signing in is it's very similar as you sign in with Google Classroom, right? So you can access all your past activities. Even if you could not finish any activity within the time limit, you can restart that activity from the same place. Let's say you have done 5 screens out of 10, you can begin from 6th. So this is optional for signing in. Otherwise, you can create. Let me just create a code for you. Now the code has been generated, and what I have to do, click on these 3 dots or click on view dashboard. So look at this. This is the teacher's dashboard. And look at this information. You can project on your classroom that, guys, go to student.desmos.com and enter this code. This is one way. Otherwise, copy this code from here. I'm just sharing in case anyone is joining here. I'm just, okay, not commenting, sorry. Sharing the activity code. If you are interested, just join to see what is happening in that activity, and I'll show you how you can control your class, and how can you control your students, how can you send feedback, and you can deactivate your class anytime. You can change the date till that they can actually join your classes. So I'll wait for 1 or 2 students here. If you guys have got that link, or you are checking my screen already, go to this student.desmos.com, enter this code. No need to sign in. Let me show you. If I just copy this, let me go to my another account, which I'm not using now. And let's say, okay, here. And if I just type this, look at this. That's how student will see this option: sign in with Desmos, with Google, or continue without signing in. So let me continue without signing in. I'm going to enter my name here. Go. So now you can see that's the student's first screen. Now I'll go back to the teacher's first screen. Look at this. I'm the only one. Anyways, it's fine. So here I can see the student. Look at that student. I know you must be just attending this session from your phones or walking. It's fine. So I will at least you can see now the student was there, and it's saying first student. I can change its name. Don't worry. Okay, I can see now two people. Original names, duplicate names, right? So as soon as, let me go to the student so that I can perform some of the pages here. Okay, this is as a student I'm doing. So divide by 3, subtract by 10. just checked 2 options. Now I'm getting another option because I know I'm not reading again. So let's say I'm entering 20. Okay, subtracting by 10. Next. Now you guys see I'm on the 3rd page. And if I go to teacher's page, you can see this. Look, first student is wrong here, but he's correct on the 2nd page. So this is something which is you can actually see live. It's happening live, right? At every moment you can control your students. You can just pause this activity. As soon as I pause this activity, let me show you. Pause this activity, go to student page now. Look, activity paused. I cannot move anywhere. I can't do anything. So this is the best way how you can make use of this tool for your assessments, for your tests, right? So let me just hide this pause, and it is now active. If I go back, look, now it is active. Let's say I'm entering 30 and the output is, okay, let me try this. Now it's 7. Try another 21. Just entering some random numbers as student will definitely enter. Like, look, I'm getting 7. Try another. Okay, I don't want to try. I just want to go next. So look at this. I have entered 30, 21, 7, 7. I got 7 always. If you input 6, what do you think the output is? Okay, I'm just entering 6. Just entering wrong. Okay, there is one thing here. Students can make use of this keypad, because this was the main struggle in GeoGebra. When you assign activities, students have to use the LaTeX, and it's very difficult for students to use. So that's why Desmos is helpful here for activities, because you have this thing here. You can type fractions, modulus, powers, anything. Let me show you. X power 2. Look, it's so easy. Anything you can type. C power R. Anything you can type. It's so easy. Square root, nth root, let's say 3 something. You can see also the values, right? Because it is also acting like a calculator for you. Let's say 2 plus 3, 5. 6 minus 0, 6. And then as soon as you enter, submit. Let me show you. Submit and explain. Now I can explain this answer, because that is the complaint from teachers, that we don't want to give students like a multiple choice questions. Of course, it's kind of multiple choice, like, okay, 1-word answer questions. But no, it's not like that. Students have this opportunity that they can explain, or they can even submit their images. Take a photo or upload an image, and or they can type in maths. Let's say I'm just writing in a normal text. I know the number was getting reduced by 14 every time. I'm just writing this. And now I want to use some math expressions to explain this. I can click on this math icon, like a square root sign, type math, and now I can type anything in maths. So I can say x minus 14 equals to y square. Just typing some random equations, and then share with the class. Share with the class means other students will be able to see this. Look at this. The student Candice Price has entered 7. Let me show you on the teacher's page. You can see now we have 4 students, and the first student is on page number 4, right? And I want to see what he has done. So I can click on this page, and I can see, look, exactly what the student has entered over there. I can see here 6 minus 0, x minus 14, y square. So you can send feedback. Let's say this is the wrong answer, right? This is the teacher's page, and I'm clicking on this, and I'm sending feedback. Hey, you are wrong here. Okay, you are not reading the instructions, or you are not observing the table. So you just send the feedback. I'll show you the feedback will reach to the student immediately. Look at this. Look, I got a message from a teacher. Hey, you're not observing the table. So students cannot reply. This is something not active yet. Maybe in few months, but we have been waiting for this, but it's not active yet. So just maybe for security and privacy reason, they're not allowing students to enter their responses back to the teacher. So yeah, so this is the way how you can actually check. This is another way of checking the correctness. You just close the feedback, check the correctness. Look, it's wrong. So teacher will know immediately, even if he is not checking the numbers. Okay, let me go back and correct this answer. 7, submit, share. Okay, going back to the teacher's page and maybe going next or previous screen, then coming back just to get refresh. Look at this. Now it is 7, right? And teacher can see that it is already correct. See, it is wrong. So I can click on that and see why it is wrong. And I can click on this to check. Look, it will show the wrong thing because the student hasn't entered the answers yet. So this is the way how you can actually use activities. Now the question will be, okay, sorry, I forgot to mention summary is something which is teacher is using, and teacher's page. Sometimes students ask this random question, sir or ma'am, I don't know what to do on screen number 7. We are not able to understand it. So what you do as a teacher, you are on your projector mode, you click on the student. This student means now you can see the screens as a student. So you can refer that, okay, guys, which screen you are struggling? Okay, let's go to screen number 5. So teacher has this option here, right? That, okay, he can demonstrate what is happening, guys. This is on the whiteboard, and now teacher is explaining. Maybe if it is online teaching, you can just show your screen like this and demonstrate what is happening, what is the answer, try it, or why these letters are changing to P. So you can drive that discussion, right? Let's say I am just using any word. It's changing to something I, right? Try another. So it's generating alphabets randomly, right? So we can figure out what is the criteria of getting the output, and then you can continue with that discussion. So that was something which was on the student page. Another thing I can actually tell you, pacing. Pacing is wonderful thing when you want to restrict your students not to go beyond certain level, or you want to continue for the whole class at the same time. So you can pace. Click on the pacing, click on the screen which you want to control. Let's say I want my students should finish 1 to screen number 5 in first 10 minutes, right? Then only I will open my page number 6. So now in this way, if I go to the student page, I will not be able to go on page number 6. Look at this. Now next is not. Wait for your teacher to allow access. So this is the way how teachers can control the class. Snapshots, something which I missed. Snapshot is something if you want to share some photos as a solution of any question. So let's say I want to upload a solution for any question. And then if I upload anything, I'm just uploading some random picture. Let's say here, right? And I just click on upload, right? Now drag a snapshot. So I'll just drag it here, present. So this picture will act like the solution, and I can actually continue my discussion on this picture. So these pictures also can be taken from students' outputs. Let me show you. Let's say I'm going to the summary page. Look at this. Student first is correct on second page. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take snapshot from here. Look at this camera icon. Click snapshot captured, and we can capture this also as well, but we don't need. So I'm going back to snapshots. Look, this snapshot is there. I will cancel this. I'll just put this because this is the real students work. That's how students learn from each other. So I can say, guys, this is the work from that student. Look how he has entered these values correctly. So this is the way how you should do it. So you can take snapshots of the correct solutions and then discuss. Okay, I'm
Amazing,
gonna
amazing,
stop
sir.
it.
That's really, I
So
mean,
there are lots
it
of
was
things which
just
we could
definitely
discuss,
joy.
but
Yes, yes,
because of time constraint, I'm gonna
yes.
pause now. Thank you so
There,
much.
Yeah.
there is a lot to explore actually once you are getting into the Desmos. There is, and the best thing is that you will be getting all kind of samples and for the activities. So just get the reference and create. We can create our own. So that's really amazing. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that not only for the virtual classes, but if we are taking the classes inside the classroom and using the projector or some kind of smart classes, there we can easily use these activities. I had a question, Satvinder sir, that I was little confused when, I mean, whether a student can have these activities using their Android or their mobile phone.
Kind of, but I will not recommend because some of
Yes.
these screens will have graph and also a text. So they won't be actually see everything on the available screen size. So that's
Yeah.
why don't recommend every time, but occasionally, yes, they can. If they can manage with the scrolling left, right, up, down, definitely they can. But some of the activities will actually give them a pop-up. It's not available on
Yeah, it
phone, so
won't be,
don't
or it
use
is
it.
mobile supported. They are not Android supported or
Yeah.
mobile supported. Right.
Thank
Yep.
you, sir, for
That's
your precious time that you have given. Surely our educators have enjoyed the session a lot. And
Thank you,
surely in
teachers. Yeah,
future we can connect again means with one more wonderful session
sure.
and still conduct
I'll
session
be
on
always
GeoGebra
happy
and more of the
to
features of Desmos so that they can get again one opportunity to learn more about Desmos and explore it. Because it's
sure.
a thing that the more you give time, the more you explore.
Correct.
yes, true.
So I would like to thank you to
Uh,
the GEG Lucknow team, Mr. Imtiaz, Mr. Tariq, and everybody at the back end because it's not a small team. There are people actually who are, because of them, this is possible. So yeah, I would like
yes,
to
true.
thank to everybody there.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
the
all the
teachers,
participants for
those who
joining.
joined. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So
Okay, dear
time to wrap
educators,
up.
so we are winding up for session for today's and hope to join again with you all with some new features, some new tools, and making you more informative and making you more strengthened. So, bye bye, take care.
Okay. Bye everyone.